This year, the Mother's Day theme for Catholics is O Lord, let me see again. I, your pilgrim of hope. This theme is derived from the Jubilee year declared by the late Pope Francis and is intended to encourage spiritual renewal and hope among the faithful. Lugazu Diocese is going to lead the animation at Namugongo Catholic Shrine, while the theme for the Anglican Church is imitating God's goodness by doing good. The theme will focus on the Church's role in proclaiming the Gospel with boldness, inspired by the unwavering faith of the Uganda Martyrs. The Northern Uganda Regional Cluster, comprising of the Dioceses of Lango, West Nile, Madi West Nile, Kitgum and Nebi, is leading the preparations at the Anglican site. Join us on Tuesday 3rd June 2025 as we relay to you the celebrations in real time on UBC and Star TV.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello viewers, I am Professor George Ladao Penjuru, the Vice Chancellor of Gulu University since 2018. I am the second Vice Chancellor of this university after Jack Nyaopen Mugi, who started from 2001. This university, to begin with, is really one of the fruits of the current leadership, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. You know that before then, there was only one university, which was Makerere University, from where I came. And since he has come, we are now over 60 universities. I had the privilege of being the chairperson of all the vice chancellors in Uganda. So we're about 60 universities in the last, for the period he has been in government. And Gulu University is one of them. Gulu University is one of the 13th almost public universities. Even the number of public universities is growing. It was the fourth university, or the third university. You know, between the fourth and the third, it's not clear. But we came into existence by Act of Parliament in 2003. That before then, they had put up a task force committee comprising of Professor Tikodri Tokboa and Professor Jack Nyaopen Mugi and Professor Meru Kwakol, who is now the Executive Director of National Council for Higher Education, after being Vice Chancellor of Busitema, the founding Vice Chancellor of Busitema for 10 years. They are the ones who founded Gulu University. So since then, we have been in existence, and I think if we count from 2003, we are now about 21 years old. The vision of Gulu University is to be a leading university for the promotion of community transformation and sustainable development in Uganda, as it were. The mission is to provide access to higher education, training and research for innovation and for the promotion of sustainable development in the northern Uganda. And our motto, which we popularly cherish so much, is to be a community transforming university for community transformation. That is what we are proud of. We are proud of ourselves as a rural university, and we stand for changing life in the rural community. Well, the objective of the university is really first, as stated in the mission and stated in the vision, is to change lives in the community. But to begin with, let me just say this. You asked the origin. The reason for which this university was created, well, firstly, is definitely to provide access to higher education in this area. It was the third university, the third public university after Mbarara. Of course, in the same year, Kyambogo was also created by combining other universities. But if it is fresh universities without agglomerations of others, then it is the third. We come together in the same year by Act of Parliament, together with Kyambogo. That's why sometimes we say we are the third, sometimes we are the fourth. This is not in terms of ranking, but in terms of age. It was created at the height of war. And the primary purpose was to create peace and restore communities. And that is exactly what it did. We contributed significantly to the restoration of peace in this region. Now, we are initially created as a University of Agriculture, and we are still championing agriculture, because you can't change rural community without agriculture. People were in camps. Most of the people were in camps by the time this university was created. Guns were raging up to here. The university was hiring in town. Okay. It started in town, then it came here, which was a district farm institute, not accessible. Now it is a fully fledged university, and we started contribution to peace by promoting alternative justice systems, not this business of going through the judiciary systems, and then promoting reconciliations with the traditional justice systems, the reconciliations, Matuput and all that kind of thing, and preaching that as a way forward to resolve communities, to resolve families. And then they went back and started farming, and we followed them in terms of improving their farming capabilities. The Faculty of Agriculture is doing quite a phenomenal job in doing that. And that has continued. We even went as far, because when people went into camps, animals left the parks and they came, pushing the animals, contributing to restoring back relationship to people who are living near the parks, and ensuring that the elephants, they live well with the elephants by encouraging them to do beehives, encouraging them to plant chili. Chili discourages the elephant. The elephant is the most powerful animal. And then, of course, these young animals, lions also, we tell them don't keep goats because we will attract lions and hyenas. So those kind of community sensitization, it helped to restore calm in the community. How can you even describe it? Peace is there. You can walk on foot from here to Pakwach if you want. Maybe lions will disturb you and elephants, but not human beings. We are peaceful. Of course, there are elements of young kids whose parents were in the camp and they were not brought up properly, but those ones are also there in Kampala. We call them Agu. Agu is a badly brought up person. Is a Madi word. But there are regular problems. Kony is gone. Kony is gone. Kony is alive, yeah, by the grace of God. We thank for that, because one day he will have to come and account for his behavior. But even the people who have come back, you cannot point that this one was once fighting in the bush, part of the insurgents. No, they have integrated in the community and life has resumed. If there are still remnants of the experience of war, then it is latent, maybe manifesting in terms of mental health and mental health problems and that kind of thing, and maybe poor poor parenting and that kind of thing. Because these people must have not been doing parenting and they didn't know. Those are the things we are dealing with through counseling, through psychosocial support. We are training workers, some we are working with NGOs. You know, if Trump had not stopped, that collaboration would have continued. We thank General Salim. He has done phenomenally well. Operation Wealth Creation. we were at some point the headquarters of Operation Wealth Creation. You can see that picture there. We were literally meeting groups after groups after groups after groups. Before I think he relocated in Poron, he was here in Badege. So we were working together very closely. The only challenge is that he has tried to stimulate production, but I think that has not been picked up. It should have been bigger. There is an achievement. If you go to the communities, you will get production going on. You go to Amoro, you get rice going on, you get granules going on, you get maize going on, and there are many products. And but it should have been more than that. It should have been more than that. We would have gotten full stores going on. The trucks are coming, trucks are going up to man, which is okay. Could have been more if whatever was injected was used maximally. If it was used maximally. But nonetheless, you cannot change people who have just emerged from a doldrum. They are used to receiving handouts in the camps, sleeping all day because they cannot go to farm. And all of a sudden you want them to become productive. That is where the challenge is. But I believe through persistency, even this little will support industries, huge industries. Now compare this, of course I know the Lira population is bigger. Compare this with Lira, who did not have a fully blown disturbance. You find that they are at another level. Here we are still emerging. And I'm happy that he relocated here. If he had not come here, maybe we would be a little worse off. We would be a little worse off. Salim Saleh is part of us. I just want to say that. Salim Saleh, you cannot reach Gulu and then you go away without reaching Gulu University. You will not have passed via Salim Saleh. If you pass via Salim Saleh, we are part of his organs, which are contributing to the development of this region. If there is anything he needs us, he summons us, and we work with him. Salim made me work with generals of all manners. Here, one of the achievements is that we contributed to the peace. While the military was doing the war, we were doing the reconciliations, we were doing the settlement, we were enhancing, contributing to productivity. That is why Operation Wealth Creation was collaborating with us. The last meeting that we had was about the ranch, where they want to restore. They still run land wrangle, which I think is going to be resolved so that they can reintroduce the animals. They have reintroduced the cows, though. All those. So the achievement of the university has been settling the population after war, contributing to enhancing productivity, enabling children to access higher education. Ever since, I think we have trained close to 20,000. Because every year we release 1,000. So after the 20 years or so, close to 20,000. Graduates, of course, throughout the country, but the majority are from this region. You cannot deny that. We have done that. We have done so many innovations. During COVID, we really controlled COVID here. That is where the prevalence of COVID death was not as significant. Of course, the president did that in Uganda, but it's again because of the president's commitment. We went up to State House to argue with doctors, and he supported herbal therapy, herbal remedies. We had the Covilis remedy, that mitigated the impact. That is an obvious achievement. We are working on the mycotoxin contamination, post-harvest contamination. We are working on that, trying to reduce those mycotoxin contamination. We are working on the nodding disease syndromes, and I think the prevalence is also going down. We are doing quite a lot of research and informing medical practitioners. We are doing that. We are promoting now land wrangles. We are promoting land arbitrations. We are doing law clinics in the villages to reduce land wrangles. And we are training our lawyers to be good land lawyers. And okay, so we are doing that. We are trying to promote now entrepreneurship and industrialization through the training of our students, whom we train them to process agri products, process import substitution products, things that used to be imported. We tried with the mango. It came out well, but the market dynamics could not allow us to sell the pulps, because it must go to the factory, and the factory have framework contracts for the supply of those pulps. So we couldn't enter. We tried to enter Soroti, we tried to enter. It became a problem. And we had so much that we couldn't drink or sell locally within the lifespan of those pulps. Fortunately, we got cows. We fed to the cows, and the cows are there in Patiro. And I think it was not completely lost. Now we are trying to see what we can do. So we are trying to stimulate production in the sub-region. We are trying, that is the core thing. We are trying to improve access to higher education as much as we can. We thank General Salim, gave us 100 million. We got the machineries from Makerere University Food Department, and we used it during that period. We could have brought it back again, but we say now we need to sort out the market dynamics first before you produce. Before you produce the products, you must first know where you're going to sell it. But that one we produce, we prove that these mangoes around here make a lot of good juice, make a lot of good pulps. They were saying they were fibrous. No, they were not. They are good. So maybe we need a venture capitalist to bring the machineries, but the students are making it at a small scale in the business incubation center. They're making many fruits. They're making tamarind juice. They're making pineapple juice. But these are also in the open market. They're making wine. They're making biscuits out of that. If you go to the Faculty of Agriculture, you will get all those things. So our students are getting out with those products. But as a university, we also want to try under the university holding company. We know the concept works. Now we need the investments. The concept worked. It was not a loss. We now need the investment. Proof of concept is, can it work? Yeah, it can work. So can we invest is the next question that we are now going into. And if we invest, then we would then have to work with the communities to ensure that they don't waste their mangoes. We take them, because at the moment, no industry is taking it. In Gulu University, our challenge is really land. We don't have space to expand, basically. Our challenges is infrastructure. Our building is going slow because the amount of money we collect and the one we get from government cannot sustain the quick building of those spaces. And the population is increasing. We should be having 16,000 students. We have just about 7,000. So those are our challenges: infrastructural limitation and constraint. But infrastructural limitation goes with the land constraint. We are struggling with the forest land, the gazettement and gazettement. Those are the challenges we are facing here. And then staffing, which is a regular thing for all universities, including Makerere, which is over 100 years old. We don't have a full establishment. So we have a challenge of staffing. We have all the courses. We have 83 programs, bachelor, masters, and PhDs. We have about 600 staff instead of 1,200. That's about 30%, about 1,500 student establishment. So we have of that about 50% are administrative, 50% are, which about 300 are academic. And then we have a student population fluctuating between 5,000 to 6,000. But sometimes when we get admission, it goes to 7,000. But about 1,000 drop off on account of income at a household level. Income at a household level, which we want to work on. Up to now, some students are working on this. We are technologizing, we are adopting technology in the processing of our results, and we want to, and once we sort that out, then the issue of transcripts and certificates will be sorted out. This is a fully government university, but we have private students program, private student scheme. We have government scheme, 830 students, then the rest, 830 students out of the 6,000. Yeah, we would have loved to increase it to 1,000, so that the 5,000 are the private student scheme doing the 83 programs. We have weekday program and weekend program, but we also want to start evening programs. We have budget challenges. We do get cuts. That affects everybody. That's why our development budget, I said, we get cuts. We get budgets of, we say, oh, we want 11 billion for the building, then we'll get 3 billion. Those challenges. But we keep appealing, we keep going. We keep going back. So budget cuts are there. Now, collection, because budget comes from government, actually the biggest proportion of our budget comes from government. We take care of salary, takes care of elements of non-wage, allowance to students, and infrastructure development. And then other elements come from tuition. And tuition, I'm telling you, my last check was 91%. That I believe if the sponsors, of course State House is one of them, Marivani, Fawe, the Higher Education Student Financing Board, pay, then we would be at 95%. So you cannot say you can get all your budget. That is why budget has budgeted estimate and actual. Usually the actual can be more if you down. And sometimes we get more. If we get more, we must ask for a supplementary, especially in our collection. So this time I think we may exceed our budget in terms of our non-tax revenue. But the tax revenue, I think even the tax revenue, we have negotiated and we are getting it fairly well. Fairly well. But there are certain things you take as routine challenge. These are regular things. Just like we budget, we are going to collect 15 billion and then we collect 14 billion. It's just the same. The government may think URA is going to collect 20 trillion, then they collect 18 trillion. And that will translate into us getting less. Where does that come from? It comes from productivity. You say, I'm going to get 300 bags of maize, then you end up getting 250 bags of maize. Or you can even get, instead of 350. There are those vagaries of estimations and productions in all the systems. You can't keep crying over those fluctuations. We used to hold it here in the middle of we have a small quadrangle under the mango tree if you walk around our compound. But the place became squeezed, so we took it to the ground and we hold it there, containing almost 5,000 graduates, 1,000 to 1,500 graduates, and then the other 4,000 parents and observers plus visitors. We hold it. It's a one-day event, and we are now having our third chancellor. The first being Dr. Martin Alike, who has passed on, may his soul rest in peace. The second one being Professor F.I.B. Kayanja, Frederick Ian Bantubano Kayanja, who was the Vice Chancellor of Mbarara University. Now we have the Right Honorable retired Dr. Ruakana Rugunda as a third Chancellor. I'm the second Vice Chancellor. We win so much that we have forgotten that it is something unique. We win trophies. I was the best educationist in Africa 2023. We won the quiz. We were the best public university in Uganda 2024. So all those are the trophies there. We are the best debaters. We win moot court. We are winning. To the extent that, no, when you win routinely, you forget that you are a winner. But we win. We win, and I think we are winning. I don't want to talk like Trump. Winning, winning, winning. So you have seen the trophies. We display them there. Even we added one about a few days ago. We win taekwondo, we win everything. We have trophies, really. So we remove old ones, we take them, we put new ones. We keep putting new ones. Yes, both local and international. So, well, we give a whole round education to our students. I think Gulu University is a good university, and we give individual attention to students to the extent that I take interest in how the students are learning. Let me start with parents. Let them pay their tuition fees in time for their children, and the sponsors. They should pay the tuition fees which we ask. It's a subsidized tuition fee. It's subsidized. When we say private student scheme, it does not mean government doesn't. Government pay our salary. Let them go and try private universities and they see how much they pay. Then they will realize that this is a subsidized tuition. Let them pay. And where they cannot pay, we have an arrangement for the child to withdraw. After the child has withdrawn, they can come back. So this business of pushing to go forward, I think let them leave it. And then those ones who still think northern Uganda is in turmoil, they should forget. Let them come here, they will sleep on the street. Apart from the young people harassing them, we are peaceful. I think we are more peaceful, but my senses go up when I go to Kampala. Then it relaxes when I come here. And everybody who comes to Gulu agrees with me. Gulu is peaceful and it's a place where you can stay without stress. The hustle in Kampala, the speed of life, is just too much. When I think of gentleness, I think of Mama. She's a very gentle person, calm, clear focus. Yeah, we are thinking about her in Gulu University here. We tried to approach her once for a PhD, but we shall go again and ask to reward her, to recognize her for the work she has been doing. His Excellency has visited us. At least I'm happy ever since the university started. He visited us in 2019. He visited us and he gave us land, which we are just following. No, he came.
My name is James Onono Joe. I am the Communications Officer of Gulu University. We really appreciate the father of the revolution, His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta. As the father of the revolution, he also, apart from the general program that come to public institution, he has his direct hand inside the university. In January 2020, when he came for the university graduation, he pledged, because the Vice Chancellor requested him, that the staff want to move away from loan sharks. As you're aware, one of the challenges public officers have is the issue of loan sharks. And public officers get loan and they are at high interest. So the Vice Chancellor told the President in 2020 January when he came here that the staff of Gulu University in the long run want to run away from the issue of loan shark. So what they did is they requested him to fund the university SACCO. So he started and he funded the university SACCO. So the money arrived by October. He promised in January and by 2020, and by October 2020, the money arrived. So we received the 100 million. And as I talk to you right now, the university has already multiplied the money. We have now 200 million. But still, we are continuing to grow. We hope that in the next 5 years, his vision, because he also said public officers should run away from land shark. So we really thank the President for the support he has put in the university. And then General Salim Saleh, the Chief Commander of Operation Wealth Creation, made the university his place. We were holding high government level meetings at the university. But apart from that, what some of the things the Vice Chancellor talked about, like he pioneered the research on local mangoes, because he said he sees in actually local mangoes are getting into waste. So he empowered Gulu University team through the Faculty of Agriculture to do a research, and the research found out that indeed local mangoes are sweet and they are good for Jews, because there was a propaganda that the local mangoes around might not be good for Jews. So General Saleh supported us with that, and this is part of upgrading the university. So as an institution of government, we are very grateful to the government of Uganda, especially the father of the revolution, Chairman President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta.
My name is Felista Uma. I'm the Assistant Communications Officer of Gulu University. Gulu University is a very peaceful university in northern Uganda. And most people, when they hear about Gulu, they only imagine war. We are no longer for war. There is already peace. The president has done a lot for northern Uganda, and we have peace. So I want to call upon the students that we should not think about Gulu having war or no peace. We are a peaceful university, and when you come to Gulu University, you're going to study peacefully. And we have a number of courses. We have medical courses. We have Gulu University has 6 faculties actually. We have faculty of law, we have faculty of medicine, faculty of science, faculty of education and humanities. We have Institute of Peace. By the way, Institute of Peace and Strategic Studies. So we have a number of things that happen at the university. So I want to call upon students to come and study at Gulu University and really pursue the dream that you want.
We are located in the Laro division of Gulu City, which is in Gulu East. The Member of Parliament is the Honorable Father Charles Onen, as our main Member of Parliament, and the Honorable Beta Ol is for women, both divisions. I know Mapenduzi is on the other side of Gulu West. Professor George Ladao Penjuru, my telephone number is 0776 54 0009. It is on our website. For additional information, you can go to our website and you get all our projects. We have a lot of development partners from actually the whole world. Some are in Japan, some are in mainland Europe, some are in Britain, some are in the US. This morning I received one from Canada, and then locally here we are collaborating in the provision of education with Fawe. We have just done an expo. All the banks bring us computers. So we are working well with everybody. Operation Wealth Creation, the Minister of Northern Uganda, all that. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the viewers. Please send your children to Gulu University. It's a very personal university. We have personal touch with our students, and it gives exposure. Those ones in central Uganda, send your children here. They will get exposed. They will know the country as it is. They will know that you can work in any part of Uganda. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I thank you for coming to have an interaction with us. And I wish you all the best.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Every year, hundreds of thousands of pilgrims throng Namugongo to honor the Uganda Martyrs. This year, the Martyrs' Day theme for Catholics is "O Lord, let me see again. I, your pilgrim of hope." This theme is derived from the Jubilee year declared by the late Pope Francis and is intended to encourage spiritual renewal and hope among the faithful. Lugazu Diocese is going to lead the animation at Namugongo Catholic Shrine, while the theme for the Anglican Church is imitating God's goodness by doing good. The theme will focus on the Church's role in proclaiming the gospel with boldness, inspired by the unwavering faith of the Uganda Martyrs. The Northern Uganda Regional Cluster, comprising of the dioceses of Lango, West Nile, Madi West Nile, Kitgum and Nebi, is leading the preparations at the Anglican site. Join us on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025 as we relay to you the celebrations in real time on UBC and Star TV.
Heroes Day is observed on the 9th of June annually in Uganda. On this day, we commemorate the sacrifices made during the Bush War of 1981-1986, which played a crucial role in shaping Uganda's political landscape. It is a time to remember and acknowledge the struggles and achievements of those who fought for independence, peace and justice, and to reflect on the ongoing efforts to build a better Uganda. This year, the